Okay, it is now Monday, and I am back to playing around with this forklift that I picked up. I actually got it running good and driving good, and well, it wasn't great, but it was running and driving and working. But it's leaving puddles on the floor, and it had no brakes and some other things. So I'm here on Monday attacking it again. I pulled the hydraulic lines out that are bad. They're both leaking all over. This one here is absolutely wrong. It should have been an angled fitting. This one was right in the transmission and it just mushed itself to death. So I got those two out. I actually was able to adjust that brake and get it working. I'll show you. Hold the brake if you can see. I think so. Okay, brake on, off. Okay. So we now got brakes, we got running, we got moving, we got lifting, but we got leaking. So that's almost the last phase of this. I'm going to fix the leakage off camera. I adjusted the idle and cleaned the carb a little better and got the engine running better. It's much more controllable. And also the weight of the handlebars pushing down, it wanted to go forward. So I made up this pipe here and put a nice heavy die spring in there to hold the handles up, and now it drives perfectly. It doesn't try to take off on you. And like I said, I also have brakes working. So we're getting there. I may pick up them two hydraulic lines and a battery for it, and I have this up for sale. I put it on Marketplace for $1,200, but I figure I'll stop it from dumping oil on the floor and finish it up and see what we can do. So I just got done putting one hydraulic line on in here that was leaking, a little 1/4-inch jobber, and I got one that goes to the bottom of the boom down there. I got to put on. They had a straight one and it needed an angle because it was hitting the transmission and smushing. So I'm fixing that with that. Put it on there. And between that one, and I fixed the brakes, and I put this little guide on here because this was getting hung up on this piece here. So I put a guide there. We're making some real progress on this machine. I'm thinking I'll have some oil in it in a little while. I put oil in the transmission too, and that bearing in the top of the trans stopped squeaking, and it sounds pretty good. And the clutches work nicer too. It was almost completely empty. It had a little water in it, so I'm gonna have to change it out because it's like milky now. But it did lubricate the bearing and lubricate things, and it did its job, the oil. So I'm happy with that. We're gonna get this other hydraulic line in down there. I can't fit a camera in there with me, so we're going to do that, and I'll bring it back and we'll see how this all works out. Okay, now I have the top back on. I got fluid in it, and I'm hoping it's not dumping out anywhere on the floor. And I'm just about ready to fire this up and drive it around, see if it's leaving dribbles all over the place still. I sure do hope not. But I'll set you up in a stand and buzz around and see. Okay, I fired this thing up just to drive it out of the mess so I can put some speedy dry down. And I guess from me working on it and flipping this over and flipping it around, it cracked that line open now and it's dumping a puddle on the floor. But yeah, look at that mess. Yuck. So now I'm going to replace that line. This thing's going to kill me on hydraulic lines. These things are not cheap. But the rest of it looks pretty good. I don't see any real messes. No big messes under it, nothing. So I believe we got something good if we fix that one more line. I'm hoping. So tomorrow's another day. But we do have brakes, we have drive, we have everything perfect. So we're getting there. So I expected to do two hydraulic lines, one under there and one up there. Well, when I flipped all this over to do them two, uh, this one broke. So I ended up doing that one and another one also. So now we have all these hydraulic lines fixed, and I don't see any drips under there. I'm so happy. I'm gonna take this thing out and I'm gonna wash it, get all the oil off of it, and I'll bring you along for the ride. So let's see, I bought this forklift on Marketplace for $600. Not even working, not doing anything. And I put some hydraulic lines on it, I put a battery in it, I cleaned things up, I got things freed up, I put oil in there, I gotta figure out exactly what I got in it. But this is probably the last video on it. I think it's cool, but I don't need it around here. I have skid steers, I have excavators around. It's, you know, we got a place when it's a little warmer out. I'll bring my YouTubers out to see more of the place. I'll probably do, well, you know, I'm going to do more videos, but I'm going to have to clean up my trails again and do some riding and do some other things. But I got a guy coming for this from Long Island, I think, and he's buying it from Marketplace. Well, I got this little forklift up for sale on Marketplace. I've had like 150 replies on it, and nobody showed yet, but it's up on Marketplace. It's got one little leak under there yet, which is another hydraulic line. I replaced all these lines up here and a couple under there, and I missed one. It's leaking a little bit, but it works fine. While I had it in my position, I had a table over there behind that motorcycle. Well, with that little forklift, I drug that big table over there, and I set up my workbench for small engine stuff, and I got plenty of lighting over there. And this whole generator is something cool, a very old man customer brought in, and I'm gonna do a video of that. So I know I'm supposed to get to my golf cart and my trike, but that was too interesting to pass up, and that is an old customer, but I will get to the golf cart and the trike. So I'm back to this project, and I hope you guys enjoyed that project.